I think we are live. It'll go live, actually live in just a second.
Am I hiding?
No.
No.
Okay.
Actually live. Oh, and we are live. All right. Well, welcome to our two viewers who are tuning in right now.
Hello.
Hello. As you guys know, this is the Dead Bitches Brunch. Tits up, it's brunch time, bitches. I am your host, Lindsay B. I have the fearless Moondoggy with me tonight.
What's up?
And none other than Leah Pettibone is joining us tonight from Haunted Housewives Creations. We're going to be doing a little CX2 recap, chatting it up, talking about how all of that went down. But yeah, I am so stoked to be here with everybody. We took a little bit of break before camp just because it was crazy getting ready for it. And then obviously we weren't on the weekend of camp, but I still feel like camp was just yesterday, especially to my feet and my knees. Bye-bye.
I wish it was just yesterday. I miss that shit. I miss everybody, man.
I know. It's crazy to think that it was actually already a whole week. Like,
yeah,
it just flew by.
Yeah, it was insane. And I was trying to like really be strategic with my posts here, and I'm like posting here, posting this, day 1, day 2, day 3. And then finally I'm like, it's been a week. I'm like, what?
I know.
Yeah.
Get these pictures out.
I know.
It's been a week. It sucks. It's been like because all weekend you're riding this high, like emotional high. The energy is high, everybody's enjoying themselves, everybody's happy. And then it's like back to reality. And it's like, well, what the fuck do I do now?
I know.
What do I have to look forward to? I mean, thankfully we have, Night of the Zooligans in October to look forward to, for people that are going to that. But it's like, we don't even know a next camp date.
I know.
It's like, fuck, now what?
I know. As much as I want it to be next week, and I also need it to be a year from now, so we have enough time to create things for the next vendor.
Yeah. Financially, I need some recovery time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely financially. Yeah.
Yeah.
On our way home Monday, like my body was just not ready anymore. But I was thinking in my head, like, if there was one more night, I know damn well that I would just push through that shit because I would love it more than anything, even though like everything's slowly shutting down.
Yeah. No, I was definitely on autopilot by the third day. As much as I had like insecurities before camp about wanting to look cute and have my outfits put together and like meeting all these people for the first time. Third day, I did not give a fuck. I had no fun. I pulled my hair back. Overalls, which I will tell any lady out there, overalls is not a good festival camp outfit because at some point then you're just naked in a porta potty and that's a really sad moment. So
oh my god, I didn't even think about that. That's so funny.
Oh no, I had a spaz after that first time I went to the bathroom. Brandon's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm not ready to talk about this, but this is the best idea I've ever had.
Oh my god.
That's just like one of those things you don't think about until like you actually have to use the bathroom and you're like, fuck overalls.
Oh yeah. And then I had a guy ask me, he's like, well, isn't there like a zipper there? And I'm like, what am I supposed to use? A funnel then? Or
you need a shiwi.
A
shiwi. Google it. It's like it's a funnel that like fits up in your hoo-ha, and there's a funnel that you just like you pee into the little funnel part with your hoo-ha, and it funnels out into like, oh yes, you need a shiwi.
Shiwi. All right.
Oh my gosh! And then you just like put it in your purse.
Well, you rinse it, you clean it, and then you put it in your purse. Yeah.
But we couldn't rinse it at Terratown.
There is that spigot outside.
Okay.
So let me walk through the crowd.
Listen,
this funnel.
Let me wash my TV funnel. I would do it. So what's everybody drinking tonight?
Yeah, I think. Oh, what are we drinking? I have been drinking these half and half Arnold Palmer's lemonades.
Is it like alcohol?
It is. It's 5%. It's like a White Claw. So the White Claws are 5% as well. But it's not all the carbonation of a White Claw, which is nice. But it just tastes like the perfect mixture of lemonade and sweet tea.
Nice.
That sounds good.
They go down dangerously.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. That's why I try not to like venture too much, because if it tastes too good, then lights out. I am drinking White Claw because I'm basic and I just love White Claw and I know how to handle it. So
Yeah.
Okay, so be honest here. How big was that pack of White Claw you bought?
Oh, 12.
That was a big ass case of White Claw.
Well, I was gonna get 6, but then excuse me, I figured like one day this week I might want some more, so I might as well have some on standby. So we have 5 kids this week and TJ has to work all week, so I just thought like
You
I
needed that.
might need a drinky poo at some point.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
Mom juice.
Absolutely. So I have this wine from Cherry Republic. It's made in Michigan. It is called, I don't know if you guys can see it, but
Ooh.
it is Omamayan, and it's a cherry Moscato wine, and it's delicious.
Oh my God, cherry wine is amazing.
It is. I got it up. Actually, they have a few different of these Cherry Republic stores. And if you've never been to Cherry Republic, they have one up in Traverse City, and then they have one in Holland, and there's a couple other ones. But everything in the store is cherry. So they have like cherry wine, cherry salsa, cherries, chocolate covered cherries, cherry. Yeah, and it's amazing.
Sounds awesome.
It is.
Good to know. I guess that's a common flavor for people to choose. But then I would want to mix it up. I'd get sick of all cherry.
Well, Michigan and especially Traverse City is like Traverse City is like cherry, like central or capital or whatever
the cherry capital of the world.
Is it really? Okay. I didn't know that. I knew it was big on cherries. I didn't know it was the cherry capital of the world, but I believe it.
Makes sense. Well, going back on track to camp. I know everybody probably has several moments that were, their favorite, kind of those standout moments for them at camp. What were some standout moments for you ladies?
Moondoggy?
Well, okay. So I had a few. Day 0 was actually one of my favorites. The being able to everybody come together that was there early was really fantastic. We all just kind of had, we had dinner together, we had Subway, and everybody just kind of congregated together, caught up. There was no real agenda. There was no purpose. We just all hung out in the parking lot, chatted, had some drinks, had some food. And everybody was just there socializing, and it was relaxing. It was fun. And then we got a picture, and that was really cool because it was really funny. There was a sheriff that was sitting like watching at the camping area, and we're like, who's gonna take this picture? And we didn't want anybody to feel left out, so we asked the sheriff, and the sheriff was like this rookie cop, and he's like, yeah, I'll do it. He comes out, takes the picture. Thought it was the coolest thing in the world. But the sunset that night was just incredible. And the sunset behind us was awesome. So day 0 gang was definitely cool. The next day was incredible. Uncle Lee sang happy birthday to me. So that was really special. I love that. And just being able to be around people in general that, have the same interest in me. Have the love and the appreciation for the underground. And I don't know, the whole weekend was just fantastic. I can't just pick like a couple moments, but
I
know.
It's so hard. But honestly, the whole weekend was just fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was a really amazing weekend, and I'm very thankful that we are a mask community because I cried a lot. Like that was just my go-to emotion. So I'm really happy that I had a mask to cover it up so no one had to see my crying.
There was a lot of tears shed that weekend, and they weren't bad ones.
No. It was all tears. What were some standout moments for you, Leah?
Well, I guess like the whole buildup of camp was like, oh, just being around everybody because, you know, I'd been at the first camp, and it was like when I left the first camp, it was this feeling of like, oh my God, that was so great. But at the same time, like, I didn't know if everybody felt the way I did, just because like I'm kind of a sappy person. I'm like emotional, and I'm always like, oh, like I feel like I have all these feelings that nobody else has most of the time. And then the next morning I woke up in the hotel and like looked on my phone, and I was seeing like all these emotional posts that everyone was posting, and I was like, oh my God, it wasn't just me, like everybody felt that way, you know? So just like looking forward to feeling that again, and then getting there and being able to meet and associate with um, even more people this time, and seeing everybody that I had missed or hadn't seen since last camp or since our last get together. That was awesome. Just even like in passing or saying hi or what's up or getting a picture or something like that. It's like, that's just like a little connection, you know, and like, I really look forward to stuff like that. And then being with you guys at the vendor booth all weekend, that was awesome. Getting to know you more and hanging out and doing our thing. And that was like one of my favorite parts. And also, I gotta say, the show on Sunday night was like the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I wouldn't have traded. I think I was like, there were like 2 or 3 people in front of me, and I just wouldn't have traded my spot there for like anything in the world. It was the best thing. And even after we were walking out of Terror Town, I was like inconsolably crying. And, you know, I had had a lot to drink, but still, I mean, the emotion was real. And TJ's like, how can you cry? That was like the best thing ever. And I was like, I know, but I just don't want it to be over. You know, but I just loved it. Like, they put on such a good show, like the dramatics and the blood and everything. It was just like I had gotten to the point that day where I was like, my feet hurt so bad, but I know the minute the AXE comes on, I'm not going to feel that anymore. I'm just like, everything's going to be fine. And I'm going to be like in the moment and just like captivated. And that's exactly how it went. And it was like, just from the minute they started until the minute it was over, it was like just pure astonishment. Like, I think that was like the best show that we've ever seen. And
Yeah.
you know, just like seeing them and how proud they were to be there and stuff. I mean, like, just accomplishment and all that too. It's just like, you know, it's heartwarming. Like, I love it all.
No, it was such a fucking epic show and stuff. And you know, when they brought one moment in that show in particular is when they brought SON up there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the first time we had gotten to meet him in person. We had worked with him on a mask run, I think maybe a year or 2 ago and stuff, and just finally getting to meet him in person and stuff. And it's just such a sweetheart. And we felt like we knew him, and then to see him go up there and just kill it with AXE, like, it was a show. I did not remove my mask the whole entire show because, like I said, I was just happy tears. Like, it was amazing. It was a really just fun, like, just the most positive, wicked time.
Yeah.
Ever.
To the point where I didn't even care. Like, I actually enjoyed that I was getting blasted in the face with shit, which usually is not like my fucking forte.
No, I'm
like, if that was another show, I'd be like, God damn it, you know, but it was just like, give me more.
I'm a target. No, when they were whipping out the little latex pieces and like throwing out the knives and then the mega dick and stuff like that, I felt like my face, because me and Brandon had the white clown masks on, that like we were targets, because I got nailed square in the face for those things. Brandon's like, catch something, and I'm like, I'm just like shocked.
I know, that's how I felt too. It was like, if I could actually open my eyes enough to see, it looked like Bill was like just blasting it right in my face, you know. Fucking gun.
It was Sunday night. It was definitely something really special.
Yeah.
For me, a moment that we've shared online and was just so surreal is we had Lizzie Gates, the cotton candy queen, stop by and hang by our booth, clowning it up with us. And she's like, oh, I just think squeaky titties are the funniest thing. And I'm like, what? She's like, I got these squeakers and we can put them in our bras and our boobs squeak. And I'm like, she's like, do you want some? I'm like, sure. So we get the squeaky titties and we're just sitting out there just laughing.
I loved my squeaky titties.
Squeaky titties. Brandon comes out with a kazoo. and we're just doing a little beat, tits and kazoos. And all of a sudden, Lee Carver and Joey Black pull up. Joe just gives us the finger. Lee Carver jumps down, says hi to people, then he jumps in and does a freestyle with
Yes.
it. And there's like bits of it recorded, but it was the most surreal moment of my life. And I bruised my tit hitting it so hard because it was time, and I was not going to be the person that was going to mess
Did you
up
have a bruise?
No.
because I wasn't going to mess up the beat.
No, you had the responsibility to keep it going for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was definitely a surreal moment. But just, I want to say thank you to all the love of everybody showed Brandon and I into Philbrook Studios out there. It was just really, it was really amazing, and we needed that. And to go around and to be the one to like get to take the picture of him, Pretzel, and Tom together, like
That was a cool
I was
picture.
shaking. I was hoping I could remember how to operate a cell phone, or even from Billy Obey stopping by and checking out our vendor booth, and then Tom Martino did come by again the next day as well and check it out. And it was just to see these people that we respect and we work with and we admire, come by and recognize Brandon's work and the work that we've put in there and stuff, and just show us love. It was just it was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my top moments was coming around the corner and seeing none other than Moondoggy drenched in blood.
Oh my God. I know.
With a glowing gold bracelet.
Yeah.
After you were like basically dying.
I know.
Yeah, after I heard like we had a resurrection.
Like I remember seeing you, and you were like at one point, like you were getting your feet rubbed and stuff, and you're like your feet were all swollen, and then like probably I don't know an hour or so later, you're like, I'm gonna get a bracelet, and I was like, I don't know if you should, and then like a little bit later, you're walking through with all this blood, and I'm like, I gotta get a picture of this moment. Like I did not think I would see this happen. That was so awesome.
Never.
Yeah, it was. It'll never happen again. I will admit that it will not happen again. My mother saw the pictures and she's like, "What kind of cult are you in?" And that was a moment that I had to explain.
Yeah.
So it was fun though. Like the first time that I got covered and stuff, it was Faygo, and I was like, and I could tell it wasn't blood because it was like bubbly and carbonation and it was cold. And then I
Right.
smelled root beer. And I'm like, why does this blood smell like a root beer? Because I had my eyes closed. And I was like, I think it was either Dean or Christy. Somebody was around me. And they're like, that's because it is root beer. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting a Faygo shower. I'm like, this is one juggalo thing I never wanted to happen. So that took place. And then the blood came, and I was spitting blood for about 30 minutes. That was fun though, and I took the bracelet off before I could anything worse could happen. Like I got the blood and the Faygo, and that was plenty for me.
Yeah. That's good though that you have that option to just take it off and it's done, and you're not like on this path to destruction where like you have to finish it out before
Yeah, you can say
you can remove yourself.
Yeah. Well, and then it was funny because later that night I was so cold. Like that Faygo, I got the Faygo again that night, later that night, and some more blood, and I was so cold. And Fats King actually gave me a clean shirt because I was like, dude, I'm gonna like get pneumonia or something. Like I'm gonna die. So he gave me a clean shirt, and I was walking outside the saloon, and Tanner Barnett comes up to me and he's like, how much do you want for your Moondoggy shirt? And I'm like, bro, it's just a shirt. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, I really want it. And I was like, I have no desire to bring this thing covered in Faygo and blood home. Just take it.
Right.
And so he's like, this is my most prized possession. I was like, okay. I was like, you do you, buddy.
Awesome.
No, yeah, I saw him. He posted that on there too, like my most prized possession that I got at camp, and I was like, "Aw."
Yeah. So, and then the next day, I literally did almost die. So, shout out to Casey, and it was Casey and Miss Nasty, Heather. They all came together and saved my life. So,
Aw.
Yeah, I gotta stay hydrated, stay eating. It was so hot though. It was tough. I had a hard time even making myself eat and stuff, and I'm hungry all the time. So I was just I'm like,
It's
okay, you
rough.
gotta make yourself eat it. You got to make yourself get some food in your body and stuff. So stay alive, make it to Sunday night.
Right. I mean, and too, we kind of had that little hideout spot where it was like, okay, we're coming back here. This is home base. And even though it was hot in there, it was right outside. We had the awning over us and the chairs set up. So it was a spot to kind of just chill out and make yourself, like I said at one point, I was like, I'm making myself sit down, because if I don't, I'm just going to keep going. And then I'm going to get too exhausted, too hot. But when we were standing in line for the meet and greet and the sun was just beating down on us, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is what some people have been dealing with all weekend, just being out and walking around in the sun. And of course you're having fun and you're talking to people, but it's just catches up to you, at one point, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I don't feel good.
Some weird places that day, thanks to overalls again. No, I do have to say though, I couldn't stay for the whole meet and greet thing because I wanted to get back to the vendor booth and check on my clown. But thank you again, Leah, for you and TJ taking my Donna in there to get signed. I was so excited. I'm like, I just want it signed. I don't need a picture or anything.
Right.
I just want you.
Yeah. Well, we didn't really anticipate that it was going to be a 2.5 hour thing, but at the same time, it was cool that they did that and let everybody have their moment, let everybody have their conversation with them and, do their thing for a little bit. And then they didn't shut it down until everyone was done, which last camp, it had to get cut off early. And it was no matter how fast you want to get through the line or whatever, you want to have your moment too when you get up there. So
yeah, and now's the time to do it while our numbers are growing and stuff like that. So if you're going to do it at any point in your career or in your festival that you're starting out and stuff, that's definitely a good time to do it and stuff. And yeah, I think everyone loved it and loved them for taking that time to do it. Yeah, it was a long day. Especially on the last day.
And as long as we stood in that line, I was thinking God, we've been here forever and stuff. And I just kept looking at the time and I was like, oh my God, the day's just slowly going away. And before I know it's going to be over. And I don't want to think like that. But at the same time, I would talk to someone and be like, I'm not ready for it to be over. And then I'm in my head, I'm like, I know it's not over yet, but it's nearing the time for it to be over. And I'm just not ready to say goodbye.
I know it.
No, I feel the same way. I feel I worked so hard. We all did. We pulled together in that vendor booth. We all worked so hard in it, but at the same time had so much fun. And that was the best thing about it is we were all tired out and burnt out by the end of it and stuff, but it was the best time ever. And just getting to work with you and TJ and partnering up with our booths and stuff. I'm glad that everything just worked out so good and so seamlessly, and it helped for everybody be able to have those breaks and stuff. And yeah, we had a good little vendor family.
I think so too. We're like, you good? You need some water? You need some food? You need a break?
No, everybody was taking care of each other. Laura asked if anybody did the confessional videos at camp. I know me and Brandon didn't. By the time we heard about it and where it was at, I was like, I can only stand. I can't walk anywhere.
I did not.
We definitely did the confession, and Laura and Jeff were with us in line. Okay. And so we're nearing, and TJ's like, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? And I'm like, I don't know. Just let me think for a second. Stop talking to me. I don't know what to say, and so we listened to everybody say their piece. And then when we got up there, it was I was saying a couple things off the top of my head. I don't even remember what I said off the top of my head, to be honest with you. And TJ, he's I'm the one with the motor mouth, and he's with me or whatever. And then I think he said something really quick, and then I started singing the hidden track at the end of Going to Hell, the church bus on hell, runs on sin, are you a hooligan? And I'm like singing it, you know, and I stand up and start dancing. And so, because he stands up thinking that we're like leaving, and I start singing, and he's like, what did you do that? Like, I didn't even know what you were doing. And I was like, neither did I. I'm like, you should know at this point that I just pull like the wild card and then like, you know, just go along with it. But
that's awesome.
I fucking love it. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
If I would have been in there, I probably would have said something stupid that's only funny to me. And the first documentary, there's that guy who's like, I'm really impressed with the girl to guy ratio here. Like, I probably would have gone in there and just said that, just because to me.
Well, that's what we were saying, like when we were in line. Have you ever seen the movie Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon?
Oh, yes.
And so every time Vince Vaughn gets on camera and he like doesn't know what to say, I was like, I'm gonna be like Vince Vaughn and be like, we take the trips or whatever. Like, not know what to say. Because it's so awkward. It's not like someone's asking you a question that you're answering. You're just like winging it, you know, and you're like, ugh. But yeah.
No, it's funny. And Brandon always teases me too. Like, I'll fangirl like over certain acts and stuff like that. And I'll be like, oh my God, I love your music so much and stuff. And he's like, Lydia, like, tone it down.
So what was some of your favorite acts besides AXC?
I would say SON, Sky Swamp Orange, and FAMS and the Hooligans were my top ones. Slasher Dave was awesome too. Me and Brandon got to do some of our funky clown dancing to Slasher Dave in a room with people versus just by ourselves. Like, so those are definitely my tops. I didn't get to see, obviously, because we were vendors, we didn't get to see everybody. I caught a little bit of Dean, and what I got to see of it, it was sick. And then usually if you saw me in the main area, it was like my break time or the end of the day, and I was just kind of like bobbing around drinking, smoking. Like, I don't know what was going on necessarily. That was just like my checkout time to just kind of like chill and vibe and, you know, just have a good time with everybody.
What about for you, Leah?
For me, I am saying this so regretfully that we missed Dean's set. And it was the first day. We were like, okay, we're gonna grab some food. We're gonna go grab some like a case of water and stuff. And so we venture to leave, and we're gonna go to Walmart and get this stuff or whatever, and realize that the closest Walmart was a half hour away. And so we're like hauling ass to get there. And I tell TJ when we get there, I'm like, dude, when we get there, it's fucking supermarket sweep type shit. Like, we're running in there, we're getting the shit, we're leaving, because we really, really, really wanted to see Dean. That was like one of the main things. And we did not make it back in time. So if anyone knows who has like full footage of Dean's set, we would love to see it. I keep checking Dan Columbus Underground to see if he happened to catch Dean's set, because I know he did last camp. That was one thing that we missed that we really are fucking sad about. But Michigan Misfits, we did see. We always love seeing Michigan Misfits. I love their fucking how they just interact with each other on stage. They're awesome people, and they put on such a good show. Amazing music. And then Insane Poetry and Scum. I love seeing them together. They're definitely one of the best sets that we were excited to see. And then they put on a great show also. SON and Slasher Dave was another one that we were really excited about seeing. And Slasher Dave just, I don't even have words. Like, he doesn't even have words. And it's like, he's just like the greatest thing, you know, like, and then of course the big bloody baptism was the major highlight of it all. But
yeah, that was epic. On the for AXC set, I just put my phone away, the bottom of my backpack. Brandon's phone had died, and we were just like, we're just gonna live 100% in this moment. And yeah, it was the best fucking time. How about for you, Moondoggy? What were some standout acts for you?
I hated them all. No, I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. So I think the first one, and this I'm just trying to go in like sequential order. Um, sorry, I'm reading these comments over here. That one from Dean just kind of killed me. The first like sequential order was Michigan Misfits. Just great guys and just talented. Like I literally love what they do. They're so energetic. They're always, bringing their A game. Then it was Dean and Christy. Love their set. I'd never seen Christy perform live. And I missed Dean's set last year because it was second stage, or like the second stage from Maine. So that was really cool to see. And then Sky Swamp. Like I had never really gotten into Sky Swamp, but I got a lot of shit from Scotty on the way because I wouldn't listen to their new thing on the drive. But I enjoyed it. Like I literally enjoyed it. So that was good. And then Slasher Dave, I listened to it, but I wasn't in there. I was out on the deck recovering. But I always enjoy listening to his stuff.
Yeah, no, he was fun. It was always fun too. I got a little bit of Blaze's set too. I was inside for probably like half of it.
I did catch Blaze. Blaze is always phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, whether he's we were talking, I was talking to somebody about this. Whether he's playing to 3 people or 300 people, it's the same Blaze. You get the same Blaze every time. It's just genius.
Yeah, no, it was good. Oh, and I did see a little bit of Twisted set because
how can we forget Twisted? Yeah.
I was like,
how can we forget Twisted? They showed up.
Well, we were taking like everybody was kind of like we're at the beginning and when we all kind of had a vendor booth agreement was like if there's someone you absolutely want to see, like you go see it,
Right.
And if there is somebody that everybody wants to see, I'm like, we're closing it and I'm just gonna put a sign on the door like we're at a fucking music festival. Like,
right.
We'll be back.
Go see SON.
Yeah, go see SON. So yeah, we had that whole agreement on there. I totally lost my train of thought.
Twisted. We were talking about Twisted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So then everyone's like, oh, and I really thought that there was a possibility of a Venomous 5 performance maybe or whatever. And so I was like ushering everybody else to go, and I was like, I'll stay back and watch the vendor booth. And me and Tom from Braindead, he was in our booth as well. He was like, oh, we'll stay back. And then we're there and like everyone was in it Twisted and we're like, why are we open? So we put some chairs in front of the door. And we like went and we were like inside the like we could still see the vendor area because we had to lock it, but like could still see Twisted on there. So it was funny. We were just like after one song, like, yeah, no, let's just close it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, and another thing too was when Super Famous Fun Time guys were on and Lee got on stage with them too.
Oh, okay.
I miss that?
I missed
Saturday night.
I was in and out on their set. Like we were dancing for some of it, and then we danced our way out of it, which I accidentally kind of started a conga line.
I must have missed that. I don't know where I was, but I must have. Yeah. I was outside getting bloody. That's where I was.
You were, yeah. I think it was like towards the tail end of their set on Saturday night because I know we missed a portion of the beginning of it, and then we kind of slipped our way in, and we ended up seeing. I had been drinking pretty heavily by that point, but I got it on video, so I know it happened.
When we're off the clock, then that's why.
Right. That was sometime between like the time I had my first drink and then the time that like the karaoke started. So
yeah. That's I heard some stories about you moshing with people. So yeah, we heard some of that.
You broke my clown.
Yeah, you broke Brandon.
No, it's all good. What happens in the pit? No, Brandon I was getting really amped up on Sunday night, and I almost made the decision to mosh, and then I thankfully remembered that I'm almost 40, so I was like, no, don't do that. And Brandon could tell that I was just really getting amped up too, and he was like, don't go out there. People are gonna maybe think that you're me, and you might take a bigger hit than you can.
Oh no.
Oh, good call. I'll just like keep on like throwing my horns up this way.
So I got kind of ballsy. What day was it? I don't remember the day anymore. But I was doing a live stream, and I was getting like this close to the mosh pit, but then I remembered, no, I'm broken. Like I have a swollen foot, and I don't feel good, and heat exhaustion. I think it must have been Sunday. Heat exhaustion, and I almost died today, and I can't do this. I'm just gonna stand here and not die.
When Insane Poetry and Scum did their set, at one point Scum actually got off the stage and got in the mosh pit, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they did that. So did Sky Slam Orange.
Okay.
Dre, he went down, and then also I don't know their guitar players, but he was down. I got a lot of video of that. For some reason, my camera took like highly cinematic quality, which it looks really nice watching on my phone, but it's impossible to share it on Facebook. Facebook's like, I can't handle this.
Yeah,
this is too much. It's too good for Facebook.
It's too good for Facebook. So we might try to figure out how we can share some of those videos on YouTube and stuff on there. Well,
yeah, I still have like a million videos that I've taken, mostly of Sunday, that I just haven't even posted yet, because I tried to watch them all on Monday on our drive back, but at that point I still couldn't hear. So I couldn't even like decipher what was what at the point. And I'm like, the whole thing is just like so overwhelming. There's so many videos. I should probably try to like combine them into reels, and I might do that.
Yeah.
Might be coming soon.
There we go. Well, we are at about our halfway point on the show here, and we have a really cool announcement to let everybody know about.
It's a major announcement.
It's a major announcement. So I just, there's only one thing that I can think of that's better than 2 dead bitches. And that's 3 dead bitches. And so we are very fucking excited to announce that the evil queen, Leah Pettibone from Haunted Housewives Creations, that bad bitch right there, is now our 3rd permanent member of Dead Bitches Brunch. So,
aw, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys. Like, I've already... like, I love you both, but I mean, I just love that you've started this and everything you've done with it. And like I said, I'm tuning in anyway, so it's even better that I get to be here with you guys and be a part of it with you. I am honored.
We're so happy to have you. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're so stoked to have you. And we were chatting a little bit before the show, before we went on live, and I was telling Leah, like, for a while I've been wanting to have you on as a permanent third member of the show, and I'm like, okay, let me just like hang out with her at camp and get to know her more and stuff, and we'll have a good time. And then then Moondoggy just texts me out of the blue. She's like, I think Leah needs to be your 3rd permanent member. And I'm like, yes, okay, yeah. So we are super excited to have you on the team with us, and we're all collectively excited for everybody that's been tuning in and following us, watching Dead Bitches Brunch become what it is. Better watch out, because we are here to stay and play and have a good fucking time. And there is a lot of amazing things coming up. We're going to be having some awesome guests lined up here soon, some awesome artists and creators that maybe some of you know of, maybe some of you don't, which is awesome, because we always like to spotlight new guests. A couple things while we have quite a few people on at the moment. We are going to be having another episode next week. We won't be taking off, so make sure back here again. And if you haven't already checked out deadbitchesbrunch.com, make sure you do. It'll take you right to our Instagram, or you can follow us there. It'll take you right to our YouTube, where you can subscribe, share, like, lick, smell, whatever it is you do with your cellular devices or laptops.
Taste
and also request a guest.
Or request a guest too. Yeah, we have an awesome awesome thing in there created by Gravity Bleeds where you can request a guest. So if you know of an artist or you would like to be on our show and want to let us know, hey, message us, let us know. We're always looking for new people to come on and kick it with us here at the Dead Bitches Brunch, because 7 p.m. is brunch time when you're dead.
It's true.
It is.
And we drink.
And we drink. Yeah. So.
I was going to say it can only go up from here, but maybe it's down since we're dead.
Down. It's down.
Yeah.
It's the upside down. So what is up?
We're trying to be 7 feet deep.
Ooh. What's that extra foot for?
Yeah.
The titties.
We've only got a 6-foot maggot for a dick, so or 6-inch maggot.
A 6-foot maggot.
I drank too much already, guys. Don't judge.
I can't wait to see the latex 6-foot maggot.
That's all. 6-foot maggot dick now, please.
If you're listening, get on it.
6-foot maggot dick.
It's not requested just a foot long. She wants a 6 foot.
6 foot, 6.
Can I have the party sandwich size, please?
6 inches is no longer acceptable.
Right. Oh my God. That's amazing.
Laying all the expectations. I do want to say, Leah, are people able still to go on your Etsy and request Camp Stool 2 frames if they weren't able to get one?
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that. So I actually received payment for the last Camp Stool frame that I have right now today. So I will be shipping that out on Monday. But other than that, yes, I can still make frames. I'm going to make one for Moondoggy. And I'm going to grab a couple extra too. So if somebody did miss out and if somebody wants a Camp Stool frame, I'll grab a couple. You know, if you want to like message me with a request, if you want like a portrait or a landscape, I can definitely still make some of those happen. And also, while we're on that subject, I did make a post earlier yesterday, but I just want to say thank you to everybody who came and supported my business and bought a frame or a koozie or a Coochie Corks bag or whatever little thing, like just everything. It means so much to me that you guys came and checked it out and supported my business. And I truly appreciate it. That was awesome for me to leave there with only 5 frames. And then, like I said, today I sold the last one that I had. So that means a lot to me.
That's so cool.
Oh, they were killer frames, and you did a good job on them. So
thank you.
No, they turned out really nice and stuff. And that's what I liked about all of us vending together too, is that if somebody was coming in to check out what you had, then they were like, oh, I didn't realize you're like here with Philbrook Studios or with Brain Dead Custom, and then checking out that stuff, and vice versa. And so it was a fun mix of like people maybe coming in for one thing and expecting something and then finding something
for sure
along the way. So
yeah.
It was
yeah, and I know a lot of people probably weren't on their phones all too much that weekend, but I kept trying to like make a post here and there, like, hey, just so you know, because we were like right in front when everybody walked in, but I feel like a lot of people just came right through the gate and they like already had a destination, spotted. And then once you get back there, it's hard to get back up here unless you're going to the parking lot and you have like a second to chill or whatever. So for the most part, I think we had a good spot, but.
No, I definitely think our expectations were that we were just going to be outside. So we had brought like a tent, like a canopy thing to set up and extra shelving and everything. Like we had planned for just like to be in the parking lot or the road, like
right.
We didn't know. So the fact that we had a space and it had doors that you could lock at the end of the night and just like feel comfortable and go have a good fucking time and everything. Yeah, I'm very happy for what we got and where we're at. And I don't think it was bad at all. Everything is what you make of it.
Yeah.
And when you plan for nothing and then you get this creepy shack with hornets and cobwebs, you're like, oh, and some marble floor pieces randomly.
But you know what? The Terror Town employees, they were like right on that shit. Like, oh, you need wasp spray, you know, and it was like immediately they brought everything that we needed. And, you know, none of us got stung by wasps because they were right on that shit, you know, and
Yeah.
other
You
than
guys
that,
did have a really good setup, though. I liked your place for sure.
Yeah, it was nice and stuff. It was a good time and stuff. And yeah, the people who brought us the wasp spray were actually the vendors right next to us. And so
okay.
yeah, so the broomstick lady, the sweet little old couple, they were just they were like, oh, here's power, here's wasp spray, he would at night he would spray like insect stuff around the buildings and he would let us know like I'm spraying it now, okay, this is to keep the mosquitoes away. And yeah, they were just like the sweetest like vendor grandparents to us. They just like if you need anything, if you need to break change, they were I forget their names, but they were really sweet. And I know they had been vending there for I want to say 15 years.
Oh my gosh.
So they were at Terrortown before it was Terrortown, when it was just like an old West attraction kind of thing. And then she's like, well, then Terrortown bought it and everyone was into spooky shit and stuff. I don't know shit, but I do. So
here we are.
Then we started bringing in different stuff.
That's awesome, though, that they stuck around that long.
Yeah. And I just like how they just kind of like went with the flow and stuff. And a lot of vendors there were very awesome and very kind and helpful. And it was cool. We got to talk with a couple people. We're like, oh, your stuff is so cool. And then one lady's like, I've got even cooler stuff in the back that's not done yet. You want to come see it? So we like go in the back and see the skeleton horse thing and stuff she's making. So it was a good time and stuff. And Brandon's balloon animals were a hit. So
yep. I would expect nothing less from a clown.
Oh no. And he's like, he's like, my balloon animals aren't actually supposed to be animals.
I know, that's what I think I said. I said
like,
something to Robin. I was like, oh, you need take a purple dog to Moondoggy. And I think, did you end up getting it?
I did. And then she brought me back because I have a secret hidden talent. Okay. I make balloon animals and I've done this since I was a kid. So she brought me back like a solid balloon and I'm going to make you a rabbit. So I made her a rabbit and she's like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, shh, don't tell anybody. I have a reputation to uphold. But no, I did get my purple moon doggy. That was awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
I do have to say though, if there's more balloon animals at the Philbrook Zoo, you could make balloon animals with us, but you got to be a clown. Okay, clowns. We need more clowns. More clowns.
What if I just put like a purple nose on? Is that acceptable?
No more clowns.
All
right. Little clown doggy.
Yeah, this is Violent Jade for anybody meeting her for the first time. She can't do horns, but she can give you goalposts. Yeah.
Basically the same thing, right?
Yeah, basically. It's a Boston Terrier equivalent of it. All right, so what else do we got here, ladies? We are coming up close on our hour here. Let's see here. Oh, wait. Brandon says, I work hard at clowning, and Butts balloons may have been better, but I'm funnier. Have a whole performance. Oh, Zula Granny. I have to give a shout out to her.
I love her.
I love Zula Granny. Brandon adopted her as his second mom, which had some people really sincerely believing that she was his mother.
That's awesome.
I did hear a story in real life where she was referred to as Brandon's mom, so I can back that up.
Yes, Leah heard. And I was very confused for a moment when we were being talked to about it. They were like, I'm sorry if I offended you or Brandon's mom. And I'm like, my mother loves her?
I was like, she saw something on Facebook?
Yeah.
But no, it was totally Zula Granny.
Yeah. No,
she rocked it so hard. Like she had the time of her life, and I loved it.
No, she was the best, and we got to talk to her. Brandon got to talk to her a little bit more than I did and stuff. But yeah, she had some wicked stories and stuff, and she was the best. And yeah, Zula Granny for main stage.
Yes, for sure. I did a live video of the karaoke, and I got one of her songs. I don't remember what song it was. If somebody remembers, please.
Enter Sandman. I think.
Maybe it was. Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She killed it.
No,
Oh yeah.
And speaking of Leah, you killed it.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I mean, you know, I try to like stifle my gangsterisms, but sometimes it just comes out, and then you know you can't put it away at that point.
You are a total G.
So many people came up to TJ and were like, "I didn't know your wife was such a gangster. I don't want to run into her in an alley." And it's like, yeah, you don't. You know, besides Forever Face Alley, you don't want to run into me in any other alley. Believe me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
All the White Claws bring out the gangster and the petty bone.
Yes.
If you don't know, now you know. That's what I said.
Yes, no, definitely no. It was a good time. That was totally something I wasn't expected at all.
Yeah.
And we got a little clown from Robin and John and stuff. He made it home to Minnesota with us.
Aw.
Kyle the clown, as Brandon says, rescue clowns. You know, if you see a clown, little lost clown, little just take him home, give him a good home.
Yep.
Yo,
cool. I didn't know you guys got to take it home.
If Zula Granny don't have social media, we need to make her a page. And that song Leah did made me want to guard my kidneys from incoming shame.
I mean, I would never shank Dean, but
that's
maybe somebody else.
Did anybody catch Allie's? I think it's probably Allison, but I think she goes by Allie online. Fams's wife. She was selling these little like protective.
Oh yeah.
What?
No. Clips and chokers and all kinds of like cool little shit.
That is like a shank in itself.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she's ready.
Oh yeah.
Watch out, Dean. She's ready.
Well, it's not me you got to worry about. It's Leah. So
Well, true.
I'm probably just going to strip and stab myself. This would be real.
Seriously though, those are good to keep on your keychain because you never know, you know. I mean,
true.
If you end up somewhere and like you don't have your gat on you or whatever, and you got like the fucking brass knuckles.
I used to work with this chick, and she grew up on the south side of Chicago, and she talked about when she'd walk home from school, she would take home her combination locks from school and put them in her socks. Mm-hmm. So she would like walk around with like locks and socks, swinging them. I remember thinking that was like the wildest thing I had ever heard in my life. I'm like, so you're like a 12-year-old walking home from school, swinging some long ass knee socks with locks and rocks in it.
You know what though? I mean, if somebody came up on her and she could swing that right in their noodle, that would hurt.
Right. No, she's never been kidnapped, so
yeah, I'm like, she's still here. So I mean, they worked. So.
That's actually like when TJ and I got together, that was like the first gift he ever got me. It wasn't like a resin one, but it was like a plastic. And I think he got it at like a motorcycle shop or something, but it was like one of those things. It was a dog head, and you put your fingers in there, and then it had like the dog ears, you know, so I could punch the fucking lights out of somebody if I had to.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep a few extra pounds on me because fat people are harder to kidnap. I've been told that my whole life, so I just stay chunky.
Until the bill comes. Put the lotion in the basket.
True.
Which, before we wrap up something that we are going to be doing here is Miss Pettibone is going to be giving us some homework because Moon Doggy is now fearless ever since doing the gold bracelet.
I am. I have no fear. I've been drenched in blood and Fago, so I can do this.
She fears nothing now. Nothing. She's not afraid of nothing. No one.
Nope.
So, what is your movie recommendation that we are going to watch this next week, and then we'll talk about it a little bit on our next episode.
Okay, so I thought long and hard about this, and I actually was asking TJ for his opinion too, because I'm like, what's a good movie? You know, not too mainstream, not too like really terrible that Amber is just gonna like totally fucking hate anything to do with horror movies or hate me for the rest of her life. So the movie that I chose is called Thinner.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
I have not.
Okay, so it's on Amazon Prime. I also wanted to make it something that was like easily accessible that somebody doesn't have to pay like $7 to rent or whatever. But anyways, it's a movie based on a Stephen King novel.
Oh, thank
When
God. This
he
is going to
went
be
by
awful.
no.
I'm going to have to turn all my lights on in my house and grab all my like plushies and
You can watch it during the day with the lights on if you
I
want.
work
No.
during the day.
Really, it's the movie, the film is not that bad. Like it is horror because like the actual storyline is pretty fucking terrifying, but the way that they depict it in the movie, it makes it like a little bit comedic, so it's not like super scary, like you're not going to be able to not sleep or anything like that. But then when you actually think back on the story, you're like, oh my God, that's fucked up, and that's actually like pretty scary. So like I've watched the movie and I've read the novel that was actually published under Richard Bachman, which was one of Stephen King's alter egos or whatever. But so when you're reading the novel versus watching the movie, the novel is actually like a lot more terrifying than the story is actually depicted in the movie. But yeah, it's good, and it's not going to scare the shit out of you, but you know, there's like, it's basically a guy gets cursed by a gypsy for something, and then it's like an unfortunate turn of events for him to be able to get the curse taken off of him, and then you'll see from there. So I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, it's on Amazon Prime, so it's like an hour and 38 minutes, I think, so it won't be too excruciating. And like I said, you'll be able to sleep afterwards. So
All right, so the flavor packet, you better come over so we can like watch this together. We're gonna cuddle all my plushies and watch this.
So that was Thinner on Amazon Prime is where you found
yes.
it. Right?
Yep.
All right. So we'll check that out, and then we'll have a little recap from Moondoggy and myself.
Right.
Oh dear. All right, I got this.
You've got this. When I first 5 years ago when me and Brandon first started dating, and he was introducing me to all of the Wicked shit and stuff. I mean, I grew up very sheltered. I had seen like at that point the only horror movies I'd seen was The Shining and Pet Sematary.
I haven't even seen those.
They're not that scary in my opinion. I mean, I watched them before.
Wait, can I take my pick back?
They're like my favorite movies. But when he started like, you know, he's like he loves to show me things that I've never seen before, and being like, when you grow up a very sheltered religious child, that's a lot of music and a lot of film I haven't seen.
It is.
But first time we watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, there is a scene in it that I literally like flailed. Like I just jumped and screamed. I was just so terrified, and he thought it was the best thing ever. So if I was flailing 5 years ago, then I'm here now and I'm like, yeah, that's ain't scary. You can do this, Moondoggy.
Yeah.
Baby.
All right.
And we're going to start small. Like I said, there's not going to be anything that's going to be like, there's no jump scares or anything that's going to like scare you to the point where like you think about it when you're trying to go to bed or anything. So I thought, you know, and like TJ put his input into, and he's like, I think that'd be a good one, you know, for like a starter pack for Moondoggy. So
yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
I'm excited. I haven't seen it either before, so I'm super stoked. Well, folks, we're coming up on our hour here, so we're going to wrap this up here. But remember, we are back next week, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you don't follow us on Instagram, do so. If you don't subscribe or do all the things you do on YouTube, do that with us. And check out deadbitchesbrunch.com if there's anybody that you would like us to have on our show and chat with us. I want to say thank you to my two amazing co-hosts, Leah, Amber. You guys are the best people that I could possibly have the opportunity to do this with, and I am excited for all the Wicked content and everything that we're going to take Dead Bitches Brunch on to do. So
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that is a wrap. The bitches are back. There's 3 of us now. Ooh, you guys got so much shit to talk about until next Sunday.
Mhm.
We will see you guys next week. Later.